But the truth is that whether we get more money or not, it's always only going to amplify who we already are. So if you're at your heart, in your core, a good person, money's going to help you do more good.
Welcome to the Empower and Evolve podcast, a space where we will explore topics ranging from mindset to career to business, energetics, spirituality, cyclical living, and beyond. I am your host, Kat Tunnyberg. I am a mindset coach and integrative practitioner on a mission to help you take your life from meh to magical. Without further ado, let's plunge into today's episode.
Hello, my love. Welcome to this week's Empower and Evolve podcast episode. I am your host, Kat, and I'm really excited to talk to you about money. Such a taboo topic, eh? If you think about it, we're so often embarrassed or shy away from talking about our financial situation. We don't talk about how much money we make. We don't talk about our situation with money, like whether we have it or not. And it's just this thing that is just like sex, gets just pushed under the carpet, not to be talked about. And yet we all have a relationship with it, whether we admit it or not. We all have a relationship with it. We all have a story that we attach to money. And we all want more of it, whether you admit it or not. And today I want to talk to you about a really simple practice that can change your relationship with money. And I really want to hone in on the word relationship. Because just like you have a relationship with your kids, with your partner, with your best friends, with your family, you have a relationship with money. Yet we don't normally recognize that. But before I dive into this whole concept, I actually just want to talk into money a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. Money is energy. Whether that is, actual paper money that you can have in your hands or numbers on your bank accounts, it's all energy. And there's an infinite amount of energy in the universe. There's an infinite amount of money in the universe. Yet most people would say that they don't have enough money. And it doesn't even matter whether you are making the bare minimum, below the bare minimum, or you're making hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. You can still feel like you have nothing, even if you're a millionaire. And it all comes back to your relationship with money. So first of all, money is energy, like I said. And just like with anything, when it comes to energy, it's the meaning that we attach to something. So if you've never done this exercise that I'm about to share with you, I'd really love for you to do it. Or if it's been a while since you've done this exercise, do it again. Grab a journal, grab a pen, and start journaling on the question money is. It's not a question, really, it's a statement. Money is. And just let the pen flow. And at first, you are probably going to write your conscious beliefs around money. Money is abundant. Maybe that's the first thing that comes to mind. Money is evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is bad for you. Rich people are assholes. Just let the pen flow and let all of your money beliefs be put out on paper. And then just take a look at it. and have a look at the stories that you tell yourself about money and see whether they are positive or negative, or maybe they're neutral. And then see how these statements that are on the piece of paper could be related to your current financial situation. Because my bet is that if you have a lot of negative statements there and a lot of beliefs around money being evil, I can bet you that you're not doing too great financially. Or even if you are, you feel like there's not enough. Or you always feel like you need to do more, have more, be more. And the whole statement of, you know, money is bad and money makes people bad and money does this and money does that. And, you know, if you get a lot of money, you'll suddenly become a terrible person. That's simply not true. Because money isn't good or bad. Money is neutral. Money is whatever the meaning is that we attach to it. So if we attach the meaning that it's something bad, yeah, it potentially could make us a worse human being. But the truth is that whether we get more money or not, it's always only going to amplify who we already are. So if you're at your heart, in your core, a good person, money's going to help you do more good. If at your heart you are, and even maybe unconsciously, if you're a quote unquote bad person who spends most of their time in the lower vibrational energies of shame, guilt, anger, rage, frustration, those kind of energies that are coming from a space of survival, then it's highly likely that you will misuse money. Because money only amplifies who you are. And sometimes that's a really hard pill to swallow. Now let's talk about the relationship with money. I would love for you to look back at your list of the things that you've written, or even just think about the stories that you tell yourself about money. My question to you is, if you were to treat your best friend the same way that you treat money, so the stories you attach to it, the beliefs you have, the meaning you give it, would your best friend still be around? If your belief is that money is evil, aka your best friend is evil, do you think she'd stick around, or he would stick around? No. Because why would someone want to stick around someone who tells them that they're evil? What about if you have the story that there's never enough? How would it feel if you were someone's best friend and that person would tell you that you're never enough? Would you stick around? I guess it's no. What about the belief of money is unreliable? Like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. If that's how your best friend would act, would you still be friends? Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. Can't be relied upon. No. Mm-mm. You wouldn't stick around in that relationship. So one of the easiest ways to start to shift your money mindset and start to attract more money into your life is actually creating a relationship with money. So giving money a name, creating a persona around money. What is her name? Is it Sheila? How would you like your relationship with Sheila to be? What would you like to be doing with her? How would you like the interactions to be? How would you like Sheila to treat you? How would you like to treat Sheila? How would you like to talk to Sheila? And if this is a foreign concept to you, this can be a little bit of weird. But I want you to actually do a bit of a practice and imagine that you're having a conversation with money, with Sheila. And you could ask her questions. You could ask her like what she feels is missing in this relationship, how this relationship could be improved, what she needs from you to show up more, how you can learn to trust her more. Like actually have a conversation with money and give it a person, give it a name. Start to enter into relationship. And this may sound super freaking wacky, but it's actually such a powerful practice because the more that you'll be able to start to personify money and actually recognize that you have a relationship with it and start to work on that relationship, the more the relationship will become better. And just like with any other relationship, if you add communication, the relationship will get better. So, how can you start to communicate with money? And the truth is, because money is energy, we can all actually communicate with it. It's connected to your intuition, to your higher self. So, if you're having these kind of conversations, if you just allow yourself to listen to the answers, it can be really profound. And if this is a completely new practice to you, if you've never done this kind of body-based work and trusting your intuition and listening for the answers from within, then it might take a few days, a few weeks, a few months of practicing this regularly for you to actually start to hear the answers. But they will eventually come. And the more that you start to do these kind of practices where you start to listen to the internal answers from within, the easier it will be to start to tune into these answers. When I was new to intuitive work and working with my unconscious mind, I didn't trust these original answers that would come up. I wouldn't know where they were coming from, and it would just be like, ugh. But it was just like with any muscle in your body, the more you do it, the stronger it will get. And it's again that same kind of relationship that if you start to show up for this relationship and start to have this communication with your higher consciousness, with the energy from within you, the more that energy, that higher consciousness, your intuition will give back to you. So really think about your relationship with money right now. Are you treating it like a distant acquaintance or a trusted friend? If it's more of a distant acquaintance or maybe even your enemy in some cases, one of the questions that you could ask yourself is, what would it take to improve this relationship? Listen for the answers and take action. Like taking action is so key here because you can ask yourself these questions and like listen to the answers and they might even drop in. But if you're not implementing what you're learning, if you're not taking action on what you're learning, nothing's going to change. If you continue to do things the same way that you've done always, you will always get the same results. And that's if you're doing the same things and you're expecting a different result, that's insanity. So in order for things to become different, you have to be different. You have to take different actions. You have to have different beliefs. And the way that we change our actions, the way that we change our beliefs is through repetition and through doing work and doing things differently. Because the beliefs that have gotten you to where you are today aren't going to get you to where you want to go. Because if they would get you to where you want to go, you'd already be there. It's a continuous journey of personal growth, personal development, personal inquiry, to continue growing, to continue evolving, to continue challenging your beliefs in order to up level. So it's the same with your relationship with money. What would it take to start to repair this relationship? And if this is not a new concept to you and you have a relationship with money and you start asking yourself these kind of questions and money just tells you like, I love our relationship, we're doing so great, then there could be another piece of like, what else is holding us back here? I was having this really interesting conversation with some friends recently who were listening to some podcasts around financial advisors and, kind of listening to financial situations of people who have a lot of money and how they still felt like they didn't have anything. And I said to my friends, I was like, yeah, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. It all depends on the beliefs and the stories that you have, like the mindset that you have around money. Because if you have a terrible money mindset, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You will always overspend, lose it all, and end up in a terrible situation. And that's why even people who make millions of dollars can still sometimes be in a lack mindset. So, in order for us to actually hold more wealth, because it's one thing to attract a lot of money, the other piece is about holding money, like true wealth, where your personal, what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh my God, like how much you're worth, net worth, your net worth, and your net worth determines more about your mindset than you might know. And then at the same time, even those who have a high net worth, yet who are still constantly feeling like they don't have enough, they're not making enough, there's that not enoughness, then they might have a shadow archetype of the hoarder playing out where it doesn't matter how much money they have, they feel like there's just never enough. So with money is so interesting. There are so many shadows around money. And I do truly have this mission of wanting to get more wealth into the hands of women and help them create financial security. And this is something that I often hold more as a topic that I talk into in my private containers, whether it's with one-on-one clients or in my memberships, my masterminds. And I want to actually start to talk more about it in here because I recognize that I have a lot of knowledge and experience on this topic, and more this needs to land in the hands of more people. So today, that's why I wanted to introduce you to the concept of start to create an actual relationship with money and really start to think about, okay, if I have a relationship with money, I want you to think about like how money flows in and out of your lives and how that might mirror other relationships in your life. And maybe there's a theme. And the first piece of changing things is awareness. So once we can shed awareness on the ways that things aren't necessarily working or the things of like where we're having a bit of a tough time with our relationship, the more we can bring awareness to it, the more we can start to change it. If we're not even aware of what's wrong, we're not going to be able to change it. So it starts with awareness. It starts with shedding light on these things. A couple of tips of how you can start to foster a healthy relationship with money. First of all, it's listening. So it's having these kind of conversations with money. It's just as in any other friendship, we need to learn to listen to what money is telling us. So, for example, is it calling for more organization? Is it calling for better spending habits? Is it calling for you to trust it more? Like, what is coming up? And then gratitude. Just like appreciating a friend, it's important to show gratitude for money and what it brings to your life. One of my favorite practices that I like to teach my clients when they slip into a lack mindset around money is a daily journaling practice of writing down 3 things that you are grateful for money for. And they could come from different categories. It could be gratitude for the things that money has allowed you to have. So it could be, I'm grateful for money because it paid for my mortgage. I'm grateful for money because it paid for my rent. I'm grateful for money because it paid my electricity bill. I'm grateful for money because it paid my phone bill. I'm grateful for money because it paid for my grocery shopping. Grateful for money because it paid for my coffee. I'm grateful for money because it paid for my lunch. I'm grateful for money because it paid for my coaching. Like whatever it is, you write down 3 things that you're grateful that money has allowed you to have in your life right now. And every day there need to be 3 different things. The other way that you could be doing this is start to be grateful for the way that money is coming into your life. So this could be, I'm going to bring examples from my own life. I'm grateful for so-and-so joining my mastermind because it made me money. I'm grateful for so-and-so joining my yoga class because it made me money. I'm grateful for so-and-so purchasing my Hypno Hive membership because it made me money. You get the gist. I'm grateful for so-and-so paying her installment because it made me money. And then the final piece is showing gratitude for the ways of money, the ways that money has showed up in your life that you may have not been expecting or where you've been able to save. So, for instance, you may have gone for a coffee with a friend and you were planning to buy yourself a coffee, but then your friend paid for your coffee. Then you could journal, I'm grateful for so and so buying my coffee because it saved me money. Or you may want to go and purchase yourself a new course and you go and sign up for the you go and sign up for the course and you see that it's on sale. You could then say, I'm grateful for the sale for XYZ because it saved me money. So in any way that there has been this exchange of money in your life, you can start to be grateful for it and literally just write down 3 things every day. And I will put my hand on my heart and take a bet for, I don't know how much money, that if you stick to this practice for 21 days and you start to be grateful for all the ways that money is showing up in your life and the things that it allows you to do, the ways that you've been able to save it, you will start to shift from a lack mentality into an abundance mentality. Because even if you feel like it's tight financially right now, I bet that if you're listening to this podcast, you have a roof over your head, you have some food in the fridge or in the cupboards, you have a phone that you're able to call your friends with. Like there's so many ways that money has provided for you already. And it's just about starting to bring gratitude into it. And then the final piece of how to foster a healthy relationship, or just an example, it doesn't have to be the final piece because you can come up with your own pieces here when you enter that conversation. But the final piece that I'm going to give you is respect. You need to start to respect money. And that actually includes tracking it. Because I'm sure that some of you who are listening are probably avoiding looking at your bank account. Start looking at it. Start tracking it. Start keeping an eye on it. Start to manage it. Because why would you be given more if you can't even handle what you already have? And treat it with care. Just like you would your best friend. Another really big piece that I would love to leave you with when it comes to money is starting to save. Starting to create a do not touch bank account where you put money into every single time you get paid or when you divide your money. This could be another podcast topic on how I personally like to manage my money, the wealth principles I've been using for so many years now, 6 years to be exact, 6.5. Put some money aside in a do not touch bank account that you're building up to have 3 to 6 months of your wages or your expenses in an account that if something was to happen, you know that you have something to land back on. And this shouldn't be an account that it's hard to get to. Like this shouldn't be an investment account, etc. Like investing should be another level. But first, one of the first things, and this should happen at the same time as you're working to clear off your debt, in my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, disclaimer, personal experience and what I've been learning. Start to create that emergency fund, that safety net, because it will help your nervous system feel safe and regulated. Because the truth is that when we are in that sense of survival, it's really, really hard to shift out of it, and it will take more work. So if we know that there is something we can fall back upon, and literally it could be like you put away $2 at the beginning, And then you start on creating more and more, like each paycheck a little bit more, a little bit more. And then my little extra tip here for this one is put it in a high interest savings account. Find a high interest savings account in your country. Most countries will probably have something. It's not your regular savings account, because your regular savings account makes you probably less than 1% in interest, which is bullshit. It's nothing. But you can find high interest savings accounts that do anywhere from 3 to 6%. And then you can start to compound the money that is in that account that you're building up for your emergency fund, and you'll be able to get to your 3 to 6 month mark quicker. And then once you start to exceed that 3 to 6 month mark, then you can start to take some money and put it into investments to create your retirement fund and to work on your net worth. But it all starts with the relationship that you have with money. So start treating like money like it is your best friend. Love you.
Thank you for tuning into the Empower and Evolve podcast. It means so much to me that you've taken time out of your day to tune in. If you're open to it, and if you love the episode, I would love to invite you to take a couple of minutes to rate and review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This will help me reach new audiences and share this message more broadly. And if this episode really struck a chord with you, I would like to invite you to share it on social media and tag me at It's Coach Kat so we can spread the love together. Until next time, I'll catch you there.